Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Friday. Thanks for joining us here on 10 TV Plus for a new edition of our 10 Weather Impact Show. I'm meteorologist Aaron White, and we are tracking really just perfect weather here through the weekend as we head into next week as well. We got sunshine in the forecast. We do have some chances for rain as we get into the middle of next week, but really as we look ahead to the weekend, it is going to be picture perfect. Even today, not bad. We had some clouds this morning. We had a little bit of fog that burned off, and now we're getting some sunshine here this afternoon. And temperatures are warming up. We're in the 60s to lower 70s here yesterday after a little bit of rain that was moving through. Not tracking any rain here for today, just really some nice conditions for the rest of this afternoon. So let's go ahead and dive into the forecast as we are tracking just a little bit of change here as we get into next week. But for the weekend, things are looking perfect. Here's a live look over downtown right now. A partly cloudy sky, a few scattered clouds, about 74 degrees, so it is a bit warmer than we were yesterday, despite the winds out of the west-northwest that have been ushering in this cooler air for really the last several days. We had high temperatures in the 80s last week. Of course, we had more of that humidity, and then this late summer, early fall cold front arrives, and it knocked down our temperatures here last Sunday, and really just this whole week has been filled with just nice conditions, low humidity, and we're going to see more of that as we head into the extended forecast. But there will be a warm up looking ahead to early next week. Meanwhile, temperatures right now in the 60s to 70s, a little bit warmer to the south of I-70, where most everyone is in the lower to middle 70s. We have 72 in Lancaster, 74 in Chillicothe, 75 in Jackson, a little bit cooler there at MacArthur at 69 degrees, and a few more 60s there to the north around Mansfield at 66 and 70 degrees in Marysville. So overall, comfortable conditions here this afternoon, and for the next several hours, temperatures are going to hover around the low 70s, but they will cool off pretty quickly heading into tonight as we get the clouds clearing out, clear skies, light winds here tonight. Our temperatures will drop pretty quickly down into the lower 50s, and wouldn't be surprised if a few of us wake up to some upper 40s here for tomorrow morning. So a bit of a cool start. May want to have that light jacket if you're heading out tailgating for the Buckeyes game here tomorrow. Kickoff at noon. It's going to be really perfect weather here as we have ample sunshine and temperatures up into the 70s by the afternoon, and likely around 70 here for kickoff tomorrow at noon. As we go through the satellite and radar picture, we've had some scattered clouds here today, keeping us a little bit cooler to the north, but sunshine further south. That's why you saw on the temperature map cooler with some 60s north of I-70, 70s a little bit further to the south. But we are going to see the clouds clearing out and really going to be tracking just a lot of sunshine here. That area of rain that you see there, that's going to start to fall apart and will stay away from us here as we head into tomorrow. So sunshine is in the forecast tomorrow, Sunday, right on into the start of the week, as we see our temperatures rebound back up to the upper 70s to lower 80s. But hey, at least we got some nice weather while it's been here for the last week. And as mentioned, our 7-day forecast is still showing some really good conditions. But also, something that we haven't really talked about for a while is rain. We had some yesterday. It was pretty light overall for central Ohio, but a better chance of some moderate rainfall looks to arrive here as we get into the middle of next week. And good news, because we are starting to see some drier conditions, as August has really been a drier month than it normally is, with less than an inch of rainfall for most locations. And normally in August, we get about 2 to 3, upwards of 4 inches of rainfall. So it has been fairly dry. But next week, again, featuring that rain chance. For tonight, scattered clouds moving through, and here's all that sunshine we have in the forecast for tomorrow. Perfect weather, again, for the Buckeyes game. And as we look ahead to next week, we are kicking off September on Monday, the 1st of September, also Labor Day Monday. And temperatures will be around normal here as we kick off the month, at least for the first couple of days. But as we get into the 4th through the 8th, we are tracking below normal temperatures for really a large part of the country, including us here in Ohio, back across the Midwest, as we're talking about temperatures anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees below normal. And normal high temperatures for the start of September for us are around the low 80s. September 1st, 82 degrees is the average high. We'll be around that here for September 1st, but after that, looking at some 70s, and we could actually be talking about upper 60s in the forecast, especially in time with that rain here by Wednesday into Thursday. But for the rest of today, 73, 74 degrees for a high temperature, so nice and pleasant here. And then for tonight, light winds, clear skies, 50 degrees for a low. Some of us will dip into the upper 40s here for the overnight hours. And then as we head into the weekend, of course, still looking perfect. We got sunshine here on Saturday, 74 for a high temperature. We got 77 here on Sunday. And then as we head into the next week, again, we are tracking temperatures back to around 80 going into the start of the week here on Labor Day Monday. 80 for a high Monday, 80 for a high on Tuesday. And then we do see our next system, our next weather maker arriving here for Wednesday into Thursday. That's going to bring a pretty good chance of rain here Wednesday night into the day on Thursday, but also it's going to bring us some cooler weather as we have highs back in the 70s. And you see Thursday there, that 70 for a high temperature. Wouldn't be surprised with that rain around that we may just get stuck in the upper 60s. So fall-like weather is here, and it's going to stick around for at least the middle to end of next week. But it does appear like as we head into the following weekend, about 8 to 10 days from now, temperatures will start to rebound. We'll get some 80s back in the forecast. Of course, it is still summertime. We don't start fall officially until September 22nd, so there are still plenty more days where we will have some mild temperatures and warmer than normal conditions as we get those highs back up into the 80s. But that's what's going on, at least for the forecast here as we go through and as we look ahead to our forecast for tomorrow. Of course, everyone gearing up for Buckeyes football. Temperatures are looking great. Kickoff around 67 degrees. We'll be in the low 70s here for the afternoon, and you can see right there, perfect sunshine. Couldn't ask for some better weather. And thankfully tomorrow is going to be quiet, so no flag on the play for the forecast. But even on the quiet days, emergency management at Ohio State is working with the National Weather Service in Wilmington. And the Weather Service actually provides forecasts the days prior to game day to give the team an idea of what the weather conditions will look like to help them with their decision-making process. Nate McGinnis, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service, explained how they provide support ahead of the game.
Start to get into the fall season, we do start to work more closely with the emergency management of Ohio State University with regards to preparation for game day. So when it comes to the days leading up to it, we provide a daily update with regards to the forecast for the weekend. And as we get closer, if weather is looking, more significant of a player, then we'll obviously increase the amount of interaction as we get closer to the event.
And of course, as we move into the fall season, we all know that weather can quickly change. And the Buckeyes alerts, actually, you can get Buckeye alerts at the game by just texting OSUFB to 67283 for weather information. And of course, also any other emergency alerts. And of course, stay weather aware and enjoy the game. Now, also happening today actually marks 20 years since Hurricane Katrina made landfall along the Gulf Coast, devastating the region. Hurricane Katrina was a Category 5 at one point and actually weakened down to a Category 3 before it made landfall. As it was making landfall again 20 years ago today, in late August of 2005, it resulted in over 1,800 fatalities and caused extensive damage, especially around the city of New Orleans. And at the time, it was the costliest tropical cyclone on record, tied now with Hurricane Harvey in 2017. And here's 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with more on Katrina.
It's hard to believe it's already been 2 decades since Hurricane Katrina. Back in January, I toured New Orleans to see how some areas have rebuilt while others remain frozen in time. But from that tragedy came change, a new focus on how meteorologists communicate to help save lives. 20 years ago, it was Robert Ricks Jr. who issued the statement heard round the world, close to 24 hours before Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans.
At no time did I think in the moment issuing that it was going to take on the life it did.
Those chilling words were part of a newly developed inland hurricane wind warning, debuting that hurricane season and forever reshaping how storm alerts are issued.
And it kind of foreshadowed where we're at now as a weather service. Once I retired, the environment we're in now is impact-based warnings.
Instead of only sharing numbers like wind speeds or rainfall totals, impact-based warnings highlight what those numbers mean for people in harm's way.
People don't really know what 100-mile-an-hour winds are going to do, but they do know when you say that trees are going to be denuded and your roofs are going to be blown off, and water shortages for weeks, months, perhaps. When you start putting wording like that, then it starts hitting home personally for those individuals that's going to be impacted.
That approach encourages meteorologists to focus on how they communicate any weather message to help people survive whatever Mother Nature brings their way.
It could be cataclysmic events. It could be a tornado going through Ohio. It could be floodwaters going through Texas. It could be a hurricane making landfall in Louisiana or Florida. So whatever it is, the message should be attached to what impacts you potentially could see and it could affect your life. So that's ultimately where we are today.
And thankfully, we're not tracking anything like Hurricane Katrina. Of course, recently we had Hurricane Aaron that did stay away from the United States. It did cause some high surf, dangerous rip currents, and some beach erosion along the East Coast last week. And as we look at the tropics now, things are quieter. No actually any named storms, but we do have some activity in the Eastern Pacific with some areas highlighted for development here over the course of the next few days, especially that area highlighted in red could see a tropical cyclone developing here through the course of the next couple of days. And then as we look across the Atlantic, there is one area there just off the west coast of Africa that does bear watching, some convection going on right now, but overall not anticipating any tropical cyclone development in the next few days, as that chance is pretty low. And as we look at the season so far here for the Atlantic, it has been somewhat of an active season, at least as we talked about Hurricane Aaron. Again, that reached Category 5 strength really quickly developing just a couple of weeks ago. And now we are seeing some quiet weather here, so we will be watching, of course, the tropics if there is any more active weather that could potentially impact the United States as we get into the next several weeks as we officially reach the peak of hurricane season. That actually happens around mid-September, so it will be something that we're going to have to watch here for at least the next few weeks until the end of hurricane season, the end of November, so there's still plenty of time for some more activity. And like I said, we'll be watching it here through the next several weeks. Also, something we're watching out on the West Coast is wildfires continue to burn across parts of Oregon. The flat fire burning near Sisters, Oregon, that have fire crews been battling here for quite some time. They're starting to clean the cleanup process in some areas as there has been some damage to some homes in that region. Fire crews are working on gaining depth on the fire's perimeter and mopping up the fire's edge. And the flat fire has now burned more than 23,000 acres, and as of last update is now 7% contained. Over 1,400 resources are currently combating the blaze, including 91 engines, 41 hand crews, 42 water tenders, and 24 dozers. Multiple aerial resources are also available to help fight that blaze, as it has been pretty active, and they've been actually seeing some lightning in the area, so watching the activity in terms of the weather with some rain in the forecast. So hopefully that's going to help to combat the fires as well as we continue through the course of the next couple of days. And as we are talking about forecasts here locally, like I said, it is pretty quiet here as we go into tomorrow. So let's go ahead and check our game day forecast here one more time as we head into your Saturday for the Buckeyes game. Looking like picture perfect weather. We got some cooler temperatures here to start. If you're tailgating in the morning, may want to have a light jacket, but here as we head it towards kickoff at noon, 67 degrees, plenty of sunshine. 71 here by halftime, and as we head into the fourth quarter, we are looking at temperatures around the lower to middle 70s. So perfect weather here again for game time. So that'll do it for us here today with your weather update on 10 TV Plus. Keep it right here through the rest of the day and tomorrow for more Buckeyes coverage. And coming up later on tonight, meteorologist Michael Behrens will be in with the latest forecast. So until then, you can catch more news and weather online at 10tv.com.